Hello everyone, this is POW Ponder on Weather. In this update, we're going to be talking about some potent storms that's going to bring multiple rounds of severe weather with some large hail and some damaging winds. So if you're new to the channel, click the subscribe button and the notification bell to get all my daily updates to keep you ahead of the storm. How are you doing, everyone? This is Saturday afternoon on your Memorial Day weekend. I hope everybody is having a happy Memorial Day weekend. So let me go over some of the dynamics that's going to be taking place over the next 5 to 7 days. What you're looking at here, this is the latest outlook for today that's happening right now for your May 29th around 3 o'clock this afternoon. You can see this highlighted area in blue. That is actually an excessive heat warning. Been really dry out in California, and we're talking temperatures going to be soaring in places like into Redding. We're talking maybe 105 degrees over the next several days, especially as we get into Monday and Tuesday. So that's why they already have that excessive heat warning taking place out there. You can see here highlighted in the midsection of the country, there's several areas of interest that has been dealing with some active severe weather, and they're going to be dealing with that today. They already have a severe thunderstorm watch for much of West Texas, getting into eastern parts of New Mexico and swinging all the way up into portions of Colorado, on the eastern portions of Colorado. And that's where they're going to be seeing those all modes of severe weather later on today. And then we also have a little spot here down by Houston, actually getting into the Lake Charles area. Unfortunately, some heavy rainfall, flooding rainfalls. I looked at some of the streets in Lake Charles. They are flooded again. Unfortunately, they've just been inundated with some very heavy rain. And there's also some rain sneaking back in the picture in places like into Miami, into Fort Lauderdale. They're going to be getting on the wetter side as we go throughout the week. But these storms will be shifting off into the east, later on this afternoon into the evening hours, and much along the coast here into Charlotte, Jacksonville, going up the coast here all along the I-95 corridor with some showers and storms as you go into the evening hours for your Saturday. So let me expand the view. This is your latest HRRR model that's going on. This is 3Z. This is right around 9 o'clock this evening for your Saturday, the 29th. And yeah, we see some isolated supercells are going to be blowing up out here in West Texas, right along the dry line again. And that'll be setting the stage for your severe weather that's going to be taking place in that part of the country. But we also have those storms that are going to be shifting off further along the coast, getting out in the ocean by then with some rain on the eastern seaboard. So if we take a look at the modes for severe weather, this is your hail risk, and I always highlight the hatched risk because that is your most damaging hail risk up here in Pueblo, Colorado, getting into the portions of Roswell, New Mexico, and getting into Fountain, Colorado. So these areas that are under that hatched risk, that's where you could be more susceptible of seeing that golf ball to baseball type size hail. That is your damaging hail. But anywhere along into Santa Fe and into Albuquerque, especially going east of those areas, that's going to be setting the stage for those bigger hail producers as we go into the evening hours, like I showed you, as we go through the late evening hours. So you're going to be definitely prepared for that. And as we go through the evening, the severe risk will come down because of the loss of the daytime heating, but you'll still see those showers and storms be over as we wake up on May the 30th here on Sunday. That'll be over portions of Kansas, getting into Nebraska. They'll swing across into Iowa, going into Minnesota, as well as Wisconsin here. And these storms will be shifting off along the East Coast here, pretty active along places like New Jersey, places like New York City, getting into Boston, getting into Connecticut, Rhode Island areas. Those areas could be seeing a lot of activity over the next several days with showers and thunderstorms. But another story is going to be your unseasonably cool temperatures for this time of year. So if you wake up tomorrow morning on Sunday, yeah, that's why they have some frost advisories actually out for upper portions of Wisconsin, going into Michigan. Some of these places could be 35 degrees or lower as you wake up with some frost on the ground. But yeah, widespread 40s for much of the Ohio Valley and much of the Northeast, and even some 50s showing up in much of Tennessee, getting into Kentucky, and all along into Arkansas, into Mississippi, Alabama, getting into Georgia, into the Carolinas, into the Virginia. So this is going to be unseasonably cool into Oklahoma City at 57 degrees when you wake up tomorrow morning. So definitely be on the lookout for that, and some much cooler temperatures. But as we go through the day on Sunday, we just kind of reload a little bit. That line that'll be over today will shift a little bit further off to the west, and we'll just set the stage for, yes, another round of severe thunderstorms. And a lot of the same areas that'll be seeing it today, and a lot of the same areas that are getting the rain showers into the Northeast, will bring back some more rain as we go back into the day on Sunday. But you can definitely see out here in central Florida and southern Florida, it starts to get active with some showers and thunderstorms down to the south. And you can see it's pretty active here in the Caribbean, over Cuba, over the Dominican Republic, over portions of Jamaica, getting into the Caymans, with some rain showers. They're going to be inundated over that area on the day on Sunday. There's your severe risk again. Again, a lot of these same areas are going to be under the gun with that hatched risk. Now that setup's going to be more likely in West Texas with that golf ball to baseball type size hail in and around the Lubbock area, in and around the Amarillo area, getting into Midland, getting into Odessa, getting back into Roswell, New Mexico again. A lot of the same areas are going to be hit with multiple rounds for severe weather, especially as we go into the day on Sunday. So definitely be on the lookout for those. But yeah, we could be looking at a little bit some hail producers even still in southern portions of central Florida, going into Tampa, going into Fort Lauderdale, Fort Myers area, Miami area, could be under the gun for seeing some of that quarter size type hail, maybe some $half size hails, not out of the question in this neck of the woods. So definitely be on the lookout for that as we go into the day on Sunday. There's your map as we go into Monday. Again, a lot of these same areas will be hit again, but the line will shift just a tad bit further to the west. Now that setup will be more likely over the panhandle of Texas, getting into portions of North Texas with some heavier rain, maybe Wichita Falls, some heavier rain, Oklahoma City, bringing back some heavier rain for you guys, getting into Kansas, getting into northern portions of Missouri, with still remaining active for South Florida, and definitely out to the Northeast with some, again, more rain showers for them coming up on the day on Monday. Now, one of the reasons why it's going to be so active in Florida, so let me zoom back. This is your latest satellite picture for today. And so here's that little swirl that's coming off of the coast of the Bahamas here. Notice this little swirl. This is a tropical wave, and that's why they're going to be hit. This will continue moving across to the west as we go throughout the next several days. And that's why your storm chances is going to be starting to increase in central and southern Florida. But you can also turn your attention down here off the coast of Africa. This is your main development region. And this is pretty highly unusual for this time of year, for late May standards, to be so active off the coast of Africa. And these will continue to traverse across. And that's why you see portions of Cuba, portions of the Dominican Republic, getting into the Cayman Islands, getting into Jamaica, to have more susceptible for showers and thunderstorms, because we have all this plume of energy that's going to be tapping into that Gulf moisture, the Caribbean moisture, that's going to enhance the storm threat for you guys as we go into next week. And that'll be it getting into South Florida and to Central Florida as well. So yeah, so that's where the Storm Prediction Center will also highlight that severe risk again on Monday for portions of West Texas, again into Fort Stockton, getting back into Lubbock, getting back into Midland, getting back into Odessa area. A lot of these same areas will get again. So that's 3 rounds of severe weather that's going to be coming up for today, tomorrow, and Monday for a lot of these same areas out here in West Texas. So definitely you're going to be under the gun with multiple rounds for severe weather. So as we go into the day on Tuesday, I think that'll shift a little bit further off to the west again. I do think if you live in the North Texas area, in the DFW area, you're going to be hit with some of your heaviest rains of the week down in those areas, but I don't think there's going to be too much of a severe risk. But you are going to be dealing with those flooding type rains. You're going to be setting up over portions of North Texas. That'll be setting up over portions of, say, Oklahoma City again. As again, South Florida, Central Florida gets hit again with those rounds and rounds of showers and storms, with that flow that's going to be coming off of the Atlantic here. So as we go into the day on Wednesday, again, this shifts just a tad bit further off to the west. I do feel the storm threat will be shifting further off to the south into central Texas, into South Texas, back into Lake Charles again. Unfortunately, this will be over Arkansas. Not much going on into Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia. You primarily remain dry over the next several days, even to portions of Tennessee. This all swings across into the Ohio Valley and sets up over the mid-Atlantic states. And what's happening in Florida will finally start to shift a little bit further inland by then. We could be looking at some introducing rain showers, getting into the picture of the Carolina states as we go into the day on Wednesday, June the 2nd. So yeah, the temperatures, yeah, it's definitely unseasonably cold right now, but these will be modifying as we go throughout the week. I think the cool down will more likely end after Memorial Weekend, but that ridge will be building off and from the west to the east. That'll be taken over much of the west into the northern parts of the central states, and getting into the northeast as well. Underneath, where you're going to be dealing with all those rain showers and storm chances, that's going to be your below average temperatures where you've been for pretty much all of May, and that continues going into June. And yeah, where you're going to be hit with some of those rain showers throughout the week into Florida, you are going to be experiencing those below average temperatures just by default, because you're going to have some rain around. And where it's not going to be is over those above average areas and parts of the southeast, where it just basically remains dry for your area. But as we go into the day on Thursday, there's those tropical wave type atmosphere that'll finally get back into portions of the southeast. That'll be pushing a tad bit further inland. That'll be getting into portions of the panhandle of Florida by then, back into portions of, say, Gibson, Georgia here, get into South Carolina, get into North Carolina, parts of Virginia here, as these storms will be further inland by then, as we finally probably start to dry out again in parts of North Texas, with those systems will be moving too far east by then. But as we go take a look at the the precipitation just between now and Thursday, you can definitely see pretty much high and dry where the ridge is out west. There's not much rain activity happening out there. The setup is all going to be along the dry line in and around eastern portions of Colorado, eastern portions of New Mexico, back into West Texas. That'll be hit with your heavier rains in portions to West Texas, getting into, the panhandle of Texas, getting into much of Oklahoma, Kansas. This will feed off into northern Arkansas, Missouri, feed off into Illinois, central Indiana, central Ohio, and then ramp back up again as we get into the mid-Atlantic states. The places like upstate New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, Connecticut, Massachusetts, those areas into Jersey, getting into New York City, along the coast here in Rhode Island, yes, you're going to be more susceptible to seeing those heavier rain showers. And like I mentioned, where that tropical wave is down here off the coast of Florida here, in the southern and central and southern Florida, you're going to be hit with your higher rain chances, with you're more in line with those tropical waves as we go throughout the week. So hey, I appreciate you guys watching. Do like this video, definitely leave your comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel to catch the latest update where I protect you before and after the storm.